So Breeze Bay.
No.
But, as you always know, you're watching The Breeze on YouTube, because we are the best variety in high definition.
Let's see how good we can do this.
From Video Corner Plaza in Duncanville, Texas, you're watching an all-new fresh start of the 1995 PC version of Jeopardy!
This is Jeopardy!
We'll play a little bit of the theme music, which is very catchy, I might add. And here we go.
Welcome to Jeopardy! Let's begin our game.
We shall. Use the space bar to buzz in. Put in my name. Taking on Vince Thompson, he'll be a beanie. And Ruth Goldsmith, she'll be a beanie.
Here we go.
My name is Vince Thompson. I'm a high school English teacher from Massachusetts. And during the weekends, my wife and I like to direct a local drama club. In fact, right now we're rehearsing Twelfth Night.
Hello, I'm Ruth Goldsmith. I'm a chemist for a pharmaceutical company. I've been interested in science ever since my mother gave me my first science kit for my 10th birthday.
Let's begin.
All right, contestants, let's begin round one. There's one
1976.
daily double on the board. And
Ranks
here
and
are the
titles.
categories.
For the birds. Celebrities. Fashion history. And finally, why not? Why in quotation marks? And that's a good question.
Good luck. Contestant number one, we'll start with you.
1976 for 100.
The answer is...
This 34-year-old fighter defended his heavyweight title against Ken Norton at Yankee Stadium.
Contestant number one.
Who is Muhammad Ali?
You are correct.
1976
Contestant
200.
number one.
In January, Sarah Jane Moore was sentenced to life for attempting to kill this president.
Contestant number one.
Who was, Gerald Ford?
You are correct.
1976 for 300.
Contestant number
Oh,
one.
timeout. Looks like I'm getting a PM from somebody. Connor. He says he'll be on around 7 o'clock or 7:30, which sounds good to me. 1976 300. He was elected to his second term as Egypt's president with 99.9% of the vote.
Contestant number two.
Who is Anwar Sadat?
Yes, that's
the
correct.
one.
Contestant number two.
Celebrities for 200. She was 1939's 100-meter freestyle national champion before she dove into a film career.
Contestant number three.
Is it Esther Williams? That was my guess.
You are correct.
Yep.
Contestant number three.
Celebrities 300. At age 81, this actor, stepson of the late Mary Pickford, married for the third time in 1991.
Contestant number two.
Is it Douglas Fairbanks Jr.?
Yes.
Yes.
That's correct. Contestant number two.
Celebrities 400. This late publisher once gave Elizabeth Taylor a cake shaped like one of the Faberge eggs he collected. Don't know.
Contestant number 2.
Randolph Hearst? Nope. Not William Randolph Hearst.
Contestant number 3.
Is it Malcolm Forbes? Yep.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 3.
Celebrities 500. This French singer was born the year Nurse Edith Cavell was executed and named for her.
Contestant number 2.
Oh, Alex, sorry. Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's wrong.
Of course that's wrong.
Contestant number 3.
Piot? No.
Sorry.
Edith Piaf. Okay.
Contestant number 3.
Fashion history 100. Some 18th century men wore bags made of this insect fiber over the ends of their wigs.
Contestant number 1.
What is, insect fiber? What is beeswax?
Sorry.
No.
Contestant number 3.
Silk?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's correct. Contestant number 3.
Fashion history 200. Made to be worn while sipping mixed drinks, this type of dress was a post-World War II innovation.
Contestant number 2.
A cocktail dress? Yep.
Good job. Contestant number 2.
Fashion history 300. The first people to wear drindles were peasants in this mountain range. Or dirndls.
Contestant number 3.
The Alps?
You are correct.
Yeah.
Contestant number 3.
Fashion history 400. In the 1960s, this clear acrylic plastic made by DuPont was clearly popular for handbags and jewelry.
Contestant number 2.
Is it Fusite? Or Lucite?
Yes.
Yeah, Lucite.
That's correct. Contestant number 2.
Fashion history 500. A rectangular mantle called a himation was fashionable in this ancient civilization.
Contestant number 3.
What is Greece?
You are correct. Contestant number 3.
Why not 100? Located on Tokyo Bay, it's Japan's busiest seaport.
Contestant number 1.
What is Yokohama?
You are correct.
Why not for 200?
Contestant number 1.
Bacterial starters for this yogurt include Lactobacillus bulgaricus and Streptococcus thermophilus.
Contestant number 1.
What is yogurt?
You are correct.
Why not 300?
Contestant number 1.
This peninsula contains 3 Mexican states, Belize, and part of Guatemala's Petén department.
Contestant number 1.
What is Yucatan?
You
The
are
Yucatan
correct.
Peninsula. Why not 400?
Contestant number 1.
From the Turkish for rain, it's a skull cap for Jewish men.
Contestant number 3.
What is a yarmulke? Yep.
Right. Contestant number 3.
Why not 500? A branch of the Plantagenet family, this royal British house dates back to Edmund of Langley.
Contestant number 1.
What is, York?
You are correct.
Yeah!
Contestant number 1.
1976 400. Viking 1 showed surpassingly high levels of chemical activity in this planet's soil.
Contestant number 1.
What is Mars?
You are correct.
1976 500.
Contestant number 1.
This movie director of M and Metropolis died on August 2nd at age 85.
Contestant number 3.
Could it be Cecil B. DeMille?
Incorrect.
Wrong. I'm still in the lead with 1700, so that's good. As we continue. Fritz Lang.
Contestant number 1.
Celebrities for 100. Madonna turned 19 on August 16th, 1977, the day this singer died at Graceland.
Contestant number 1.
Who is thank you very much. Elvis Presley.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number
Ranks of
1.
titles 100. One could be of the roles or of ceremonies.
Contestant number 2.
What is master?
You are
Yep.
correct. Contestant number 2.
Ranks of titles 200. Latin for teacher. This title is bestowed on dentists and veterinarians in the U.S.
Contestant number 2.
What is doctor?
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number 2.
Ranks of titles 300.
The answer there is...
Dona is a courtesy title for a Spanish woman, and this is the equivalent for a Spanish man.
Contestant number 3.
What is Dawn?
You are correct.
Yep.
Contestant number
Ranks
3.
of titles 400. Daily double. And she's going to go 400. She'll trail me by 200 if she gets it right. Here's the clue. The wife of a Raja. What is a Rani? Yep.
Yes, that's correct. Contestant number
Ranks of
3.
titles 500. Some barons, like Tennyson, write their names this way. First name, comma, this title, last name.
Contestant number 1.
What is Lord?
Yes.
For the
That's
birds,
correct.
100.
Contestant number 1.
Many people add these to cats' collars to warn birds of their approach.
Contestant number 2.
What are symbols? No.
Incorrect. Contestant number 1.
What are bells? 200.
Good job.
Thanks.
Contestant number 1.
This bird is so named because it runs along the beach making little piping noises.
Contestant number 3.
What is beachcomber? No.
I'm sorry. That's wrong.
Beakaroopa.
Contestant number 2.
Is it the sandpiper?
Yes.
Yep.
That's correct. Contestant number 2.
300. This bird's name is also used as a verb that means to repeat without thinking.
Contestant number 1.
What is parrot?
Yes.
400.
That's correct. Contestant number 1.
The males of these graceful birds are properly known as cobs.
Contestant number 1.
What are swans?
Yes.
Last clue.
That's correct. Contestant number 1.
Known for their ability to mimic other birds, these birds are native to North, Central, and South America.
Contestant number 2.
What are mockingbirds? And I should have known. That was right.
You are correct.
Double Jeopardy time.
Now for the double Jeopardy round, with 2
Great
daily doubles
rulers.
somewhere on the board
The human
in
body.
these categories.
World facts. Architecture. Famous animals. And finally, literary characters. Here we go.
Good luck. Contestant number 2, we'll start with you.
Great rulers 200.
Let's take a look at the answer.
Alright. By 1810, Kamehameha the Great had united all of these islands under his control.
Contestant number 1.
What are the Hawaiian Islands?
Yes.
Great rulers
That's
400.
correct. Contestant number 1.
This 18th century Prussian king was known as the Great during his lifetime.
Contestant number 1.
Who is Alexander? No.
Wrong.
I have a second guess, but I'm not sure.
Contestant number 3.
Is it Hans? I don't think so.
Incorrect.
Wrong.
Contestant number 2.
Frederick II the Great?
You
Yeah.
are correct.
Okay, that wasn't my second
Contestant
guess.
number 2.
Architecture 800. Oh, what are the daily doubles?
The answer there is one of the 2 daily doubles.
Vince has 1600 and he's going to go 800. All right. That'll take him to 2400 if he gets it right. Here's the clue. William Van Allen designed this New York City skyscraper whose gargoyles resemble auto radiator caps. What is the Chrysler Building?
You are
Yep.
correct. Contestant number 2.
Architecture 1000. Anthemius of Tralles and Isidorus of Miletus designed this large Constantinople church.
Contestant number 3.
What is Hagia Sophia?
Yes.
Yep.
That's correct. Contestant number 3.
Famous animals for 200. Blackjack was the riderless horse that followed his Kyson at his November 25th, 1963 funeral.
Contestant number 1.
Who is John F. Kennedy?
Yes.
Famous animals
That's
for 400.
correct. Contestant number 1.
Xing Xing and Ling Ling, 2 of these, went on display at the National Zoo in 1972.
Contestant number 2.
What are Asian albino rhinos?
Sorry, that's incorrect.
Wrong.
Contestant number 3.
What are giant pandas?
You are
Yep.
correct. Contestant number 3.
Famous animals 600. This trademark lion was the symbol of Goldwyn Pictures before MGM.
Contestant number 1.
Who is Leo?
Yes,
Famous animals
that's
800.
correct. Contestant number 1.
This Scottish Terrier was with FDR in Warm Springs, Georgia when the president died.
Contestant number 2.
Who is Fala?
Yes,
Yep.
that's correct. Contestant number 2.
Famous animals 1000. He rode Marengo, his favorite charger, into several battles, including Waterloo.
Contestant number 1.
Who is Napoleon Bonaparte?
Yes,
Yep.
that's correct. Contestant number
Architecture
1.
200. From plans by Louis Laval, Jules Hardouin Monsart built the Hall of Mirrors at this royal residence.
Contestant number 1.
What is Versailles?
You are correct.
Architecture for 400.
Contestant number 1.
Antonio Gaudi's greatest project was the Church of the Sagrada Familia in this Spanish city.
Contestant number 1.
What is Madrid?
Sorry, incorrect.
No.
Anyone else?
I'm still in the lead.
Contestant number 3.
Is it Barcelona?
You are correct.
Yep, Barcelona.
Contestant number 3.
Architecture 600. James Renwick is best remembered as the designer of this New York City cathedral at 5th Avenue and 50th Street.
Contestant number 1.
What is St. Patrick's Cathedral?
You are
That's
correct.
correct.
Contestant number
Great
1.
rulers for 600. In 1282, Peter the Great of Aragon became king of this largest Mediterranean island.
Contestant number 1.
What is Sicily?
You are
Great
correct.
rulers 800.
Contestant number 1.
He was born at Pella, Macedonia in 356 BC and died in Babylon in 323 BC.
Contestant number 1.
Now might be the time for Alexander the Great, so I'm going to say who is that.
You
Yep.
are correct.
Great rulers 1000.
Contestant number 1.
This great king of Wessex kept England from falling to the Danes in the 9th century.
Contestant number 3.
Who is Alfred the Great?
You are correct.
Yeah.
Contestant number 3.
Human body for 200. This part of the eye has about 135 million light-sensitive cells.
Contestant number 1.
What is the retina?
Yes,
Human body for
that's
400.
correct. Contestant number 1. Let's take a look at the answer.
From the Latin for body, it's a free-moving cell such as an erythrocyte or leukocyte.
Contestant number 2.
What is a corpuscle?
Yes.
Yep.
That's correct. Contestant number 2.
Human body 600. 2 of the 4 kinds of taste buds in the tongue.
Contestant number 1.
What are sour and sweet?
You are
Sweet and
correct.
sour, yeah. Human body 800.
Contestant number 1. The answer there is...
It's the smaller of the 2 bones between the knee and the ankle.
Contestant
Vince.
number 2.
What is the fibula? Yeah.
Correct. Contestant number 2.
Human body 1000. Each molecule of this contains thymine, adenine, guanine, cytosine, phosphate, and deoxyribose.
Contestant number 1.
What is DNA?
Yes, that's correct.
World facts for 200.
Contestant number 1.
With an area of 64 million square miles, this ocean could hold all the world's land with room to spare.
Contestant number 1.
What is the Pacific Ocean? Alright. World facts for 400.
Yes, select again. Contestant number 1.
During the Persian Gulf War, nearly 70% of this country's oil wells were destroyed or damaged.
Contestant number 1.
What is Kuwait?
Yes,
World facts for
that's
600.
correct. Contestant number 1.
Much of this tiny nation's economy is based on contributions known as Peter's Pence.
Contestant number 1.
What is Liechtenstein?
Sorry, incorrect. Anyone else? Contestant number 2.
What is Luxembourg?
Sorry,
No, not
that's
Luxembourg.
incorrect.
Ruth's not going to try this one? It's Vatican City. Alright.
Contestant
World
number
facts
1.
800. Part of Thailand lies on this, the southernmost mainland peninsula in Asia.
Contestant number 1.
What is Cambodia?
Sorry, incorrect.
Puke.
Contestant number 3.
What is the Malay Peninsula?
You are
Oh,
correct.
yeah.
Contestant number
World facts
3.
1000. The other daily double.
The answer there is one of the 2 daily doubles.
How much will Ruth wager? She's going to go for 1,000. She has 4,600. Here is the clue. A 3.5-year-long underwater eruption created this country's Surtsey Island. What is Iceland?
Yes,
Yep.
that's correct. Contestant number
Literary
3.
characters 200. In a novel by Jean Le Carre, Alec Lamas is the spy who came from here.
Contestant number 1.
What is Russia?
No, I'm afraid that is not correct.
Oh well.
Contestant number 2.
What is the cold?
You are
Yeah.
correct. Contestant number 2.
Literary character for 1,000. Daisy Buchanan's cousin. He's the narrator of The Great Gatsby.
Contestant number 3.
Nick Carraway?
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
That's correct. Contestant number 3.
Literary characters 400. This detective introduced in The Maltese Falcon later appeared in several short stories.
Contestant number 1.
Who's Sam Spade?
Yes, that's correct.
Literary character 600.
Contestant number 1.
Before he dies, Don Quixote begs this squire's forgiveness for drawing him into conclusions.
Contestant number 3.
Who is Paul?
Sorry, incorrect.
No.
Anyone else? Contestant number 2.
Who is Sancho Panza?
You are
He's
correct.
the one.
Contestant number 2.
Last clue. In A Christmas Carol, Ebenezer Scrooge is haunted by the ghost of this late business partner.
Who is Jacob Marley?
Of course.
Contestant
And I'm
number
going to
1.
finish the double Jeopardy round with $8,500.
You are correct.
Final Jeopardy category.
The
State
final
capitals.
Jeopardy category
Okay.
is... Contestant number 1, what would you like to
I'm going
wager?
to have to go 3,501.
The final Jeopardy clue is...
State capitals. Here's the clue. This city in the northwest is the city of trees. Its name came from the French for wooded. Would be Salem. Northwest, okay. I'm gonna say, what is Cheyenne?
Contestant number 2, your final Jeopardy response was... Good job.
Boise, Idaho.
Let's see what contestant number 2 wagered.
Oh, I wagered too much. Oh boy. So,
Your
a
total?
redemption will be in my future. It's Boise, Idaho.
It's
Contestant
okay.
number 3,
It is.
your final Jeopardy response was... Yes, that's
Oh,
correct.
boy.
Let's see what contestant number 3
I
wagered.
should have thought about Idaho, but that's okay. Boise, Idaho. It's alright.
Your total?
She goes to $12,000.
Contestant number 1, your final Jeopardy response was... Sorry, that's incorrect. Let's see what contestant number 1 wagered.
3,501. That's going to drop me down to $4,999. I'm going to finish in third place. But I will do a redemption of this game soon.
Of
Your
course.
total?
So it's alright.
Sorry you didn't win. Sharpen your wits and try
And
again.
we'll see you all for that next video coming soon.